Money on my mind, gotta hustle and grind. Financial literacy always on my mind. I'm stacking knowledge, no time to waste. Gotta invest smart, gotta keep up the pace. I'm reading books, learning all the tricks, studying the market, making calculated picks. I'm saving up my dough, watching it grow. No more wasting money on things I don't really know. Financial smarts, that's my new swag. Investing wisely, no more burning cash, I'm building wealth. $1 at a time, going from broke to living the life that's prime.
What's good, everybody? It's your boy Reckless Ray Dinero, and we are back at it again for another episode of Future Financial Strategies. This is a pilot, though. This is a special episode, so definitely make sure you tap in. Make sure you hit that like button. If you're not subscribed already, I invite you to join the Wolf Pack and subscribe expeditiously, because we got a lot of game that we're giving over here, and we're doing a lot of tracking. I like to give receipts, and as I say, somebody's got to tell the truth. So when it comes to these financial spaces, I am not talking to you from the top of a mountain. I am talking to you from in the muck with you. I go to work, put my work shoes on, get out here. Some days I'm outside, some days I'm inside because of the career that I've chosen. I get to do both. I don't like being in the same spot every day. I don't generally have to be in the same place every day, which is pretty awesome as well. But, you know, half blue collar, half IT. I am the epitome of your quote unquote average American working person with financial literacy. And what we do over here on Future Financial Strategies is we are testing to see what works, what doesn't work. And I'm giving feedback real time with my money, with my experiences, what I'm going through. So this is Operation Debt Pilot, because previously I did not carry a lot of debt. I do utilize it. So they're under normal circumstances, going into a bull run, a Bitcoin bull run cycle, I will allow myself up to about $5,000 in debt. Also, we started implementing the strategy of leveraging our credit cards that I don't use that often. So we had some debt there that are tied to assets. At present, we had a major life event, which is awesome. I'm going to be doing a video about that too, navigating medical debt. But we got hit with some major debts. I had a surgery, pretty major surgery. I severed my Achilles. That's expensive. I'm on a high deductible plan because I'm never sick, and I generally am not injured in that capacity. So, needless to say, we had to eat them bills to the tune of about, I'd say like $5,000-$6,000, somewhere in there. So I'm down, not working, got physical therapy. Obviously, we hit our deductible or max out of pocket for the out of pocket very, very fast, because the surgery in and of itself was expensive. But one of the things that they do, which is interesting, is they have you pay up front for your surgery. So I had to pay the full bill, and then when the claim went in, I got a refund. So I had to call and fight for my refund. But needless to say, so that was an actual super expensive out-of-pocket expense. It was almost $10,000. And that I had to pay up front. So like I had to come up with that money. I had to come up with all of my bills were up front. And so some of them I got refunded. Pretty much it was the surgery. I got a good chunk of that refunded. And then all the other bills that came with it, I had copays, all sorts of stuff. Like I actually almost hit my out-of-pocket max this year, which is crazy, but that's what surgery will do for you. So I'm in physical therapy, which now I'm getting ready to start paying out of pocket. We're going to be making some adjustments around that as well. But then after that, my head gasket in my car blew, and I'm not ready to trade it in because I don't want to have one of those $700 car bills like the rest of you have, because we're not doing that. That's a long-term debt that I don't want. Because the car's paid off. So like I own the car. So that was an additional $5,000 on top of that, on top of all the other debts. Also, when I injured myself, I had one last leverage left on my card. I went ahead and leveraged it because I didn't know how long I was going to be on the couch, so that I would have enough income to cover most of my core expenses, just in case I had to float. So there's a good bit of debt. So I'm just going to go ahead and bring it to the screen and we can just talk about it. So as it's sitting right now, we'll go ahead and make this big. Actually, will just get me up out of here. Okay. So you're probably not gonna succeed at whatever you're trying to do because you're beholden to a specific strategy. And a newsflash, a lot of these specific strategies don't necessarily work implicitly in all situations. They are tools. So I look at every single strategy that we discuss over here as a tool. And as you'll see, as I'm paying these debts off and we're having these conversations and you're seeing how I'm getting into these strategies, how I'm implementing them, how I'm utilizing them, a lot of them compound. I am mixing and molding to make my perfect mix to do things the way that I want them done. For me, it's math, the most efficient way possible, without sacrificing opportunity cost on other things. Like I don't want to give up assets. So that's one of the things that I'm hard nosed about, is not giving up assets. So like, I'm not going to stop investing. I would rather my money flow into the investment first and then use the dividends as I see fit to repay debts. That's the first thing. Second, I don't make over six figures. So it's not like I have a ton of money. I've got middle-class money to work with, which is being actively destroyed, which is the reason that these strategies are necessary. You at minimum need to be an efficient money manager. You need to be a financial strategist at this point. Like there's no way around it. There's no set and forget. There's no walking away. You need to be able to look at the flow of money, find inefficiencies, and fix problems, or you're going to be poor. That's just where we're at. Because for most of you, this number right here would be the crack that you fell down a hole that you never get out of. This turns into 50, this turns into 100, this turns into 150, this turns into you're up to your eyeballs in debt, talking about I'm happier than you, going on family trips, keeping up appearances, and being broke and worthless, living paycheck to paycheck, making more money than I do, making six figures, talking online about how you're high value, competing with your neighbors that don't care about you, being worth less than me, who's dumb. So that's all I'm saying. But we're jumping in here. And so with the velocity banking, we're doing that. We're also doing high yield dividends. And the reason we utilize that tool is because it allows me to buy an employee, namely a hedge fund, that plays the market for me. And then at the end of the month, based on their results, I get paid. It keeps me from having to go get 19 jobs to keep a roof over my head. Now, I also use that money along with paying back the debt that is also tied into my Bitcoin standards. So 10% of those incomes right now, while we're paying this debt off, go directly into Bitcoin that goes into cold storage that I sit on forever, that I can worry about later when it's worth millions of dollars or $1 million or whatever. I mean, I'm doing really well in my crypto portfolio. I don't like selling it. Also, it is funding my long-term portfolio. So I'm actually utilizing the income in a few different strategic ways. Also, I have positions within that income portfolio, for those of you who don't want to do the footwork, that get reinvested into the portfolio to ensure that the income keeps growing. Also, now we're going to be setting it up to where we're going to be having a payday every week. That's another caveat to that, is we're going to continue to have money coming in. So we've got our week 4, the end of the month, the payday that I get at the end of the month is the big one. Right now, we're going to be working on the second position. And honestly, until that second position opens up, we'll see what week, because I got to see what week the next pull that I'm going to have is going to be in. But we're setting it up to where every week we will be getting a payday that's at minimum, we're targeting $500. That's what we're looking at. I want $500 a week every week. Now it's going to be relative. It'll be around 500. I'll probably overshoot it a little bit share wise because I want it to be close to 500 every time. But It's because those are actively managed portfolios. They're based on how the options traders do in the market. I don't options trade, but I got a reference to shout out Wall Street Trapper. He's good at it and he can teach you. So, there's a couple of communities that I'm tapped in on, because looking forward, I do want to have more stuff that I can do in the market with my brain versus using my body. But right now, this is the easiest. Actually, it's not even easy. It's the most efficient segue for me as somebody who works middle class, half IT, half blue collar, to be able to manage my way into just doing brain work while still being able to go to work and not having to sit looking at the market all day in front of a computer and not having to go get another side hustle job, because I've done that. I've side hustled before work. I've side hustled after work. Same day. You just work straight up until you go to bed. Now, I prefer to just document the journey, look at portfolios, talk about money, record some content. It's a lot less impactful on my body and a lot less stressful, because we're not trying to work ourselves to death. That's not a goal. And for me personally, for everybody over here in the Wolfpack, what I hope is you see some of these tools and you're able to figure out a way, testing these tools with your stuff. I'm testing it with my stuff, but as you see me get to early retirement, get to millionaire status, get to multimillionaire status on my terms, that maybe you guys can look at things and be like, yo, I can do this on my terms as well. I believe that you can. And when I say millionaire status, it's not going to be because of my home and my 401k. Because I look at those as dead assets for most of you. I'll be actually utilizing the equity in my home, but most of you won't, and most of you don't, except for frivolous things, so that you can go on vacation and keep up airs and get the new car, and you just eat your houses up in that way, and then you're still up to your eyeballs in debt. I'm not going to be a 401k millionaire. There's no point in that when you could not have to go to work, but now you still have to go to work until you're 70 or whatever age they're saying now, before you even have access to those funds without getting penalized, when you could technically be out of the workforce or be doing a job that you wanted to do ahead of time. So it depends on the goal, but for me, those tools at this juncture are basically worthless, because I'm I'm gonna be in a work optional state within 36 months. So the 401k doesn't matter. That's not a carrot that can be dangled, because I'm I don't want to be here. How about that? You got to fund your 401k. Yeah, if you're gonna work till you're 65, sure, go for it. But I'm definitely not putting the lion's share of my money there first. Not until that income portfolio done pushed me into a couple of different tax brackets. So no, I'm not going to do that. It's just not a goal for me. But we've got, I think we're going to close it out on that. I've been transparent, let you guys look behind my veil, if you would. You've seen me exposed, reckless rated arrows in debt. Oh no. But you're going to get to see me clear it up and get to show you that there's a reason that some of us can handle looking at debt, and some of you just think it's the worst thing ever. And I think on the other side of this, when we look at where the portfolios are at, what type of income's coming in, it'll make a little bit more sense why some of us who utilize debt and chose to understand the full spectrum of finance versus dialing in on a talking point or rhetoric to limit ourselves, look at stuff the way that we do. And being in the high yield dividend space, there's a lot of people, we do a lot more full transparency than most people. I'm honestly, I don't care what your opinion is if you're not recording videos and documenting your journey or results or showing your brokerage account. I don't care what the guru says that doesn't show his brokerage account. Most of you don't. At best, you're getting people that will show you a trade. And coming from high yield dividends, that's one of the things that I respect about my high yield dividend brothers in this space. Salute to all of you. is we all show our brokerage accounts at least. Like, you like say what you want. Oh, that's not going to last forever. You know, you know how many people for the last 11 years have been rooting for Bitcoin to crash to $3,000 so that they could tell me I told you so? I mean, cool. If eventually Bitcoin goes to $3,000 and I'm sitting here with a sad face, great. But like, you had to keep saying every year wrongly that I was wrong when you're wrong. Like, it doesn't make any of us wake up any broker that you guys who don't choose to have a honest conversation and want to actually talk about the tools that we're talking about, or even want to get a concept, because everybody says, oh, you're trying to get rich next Tuesday. I was like, no, if I was trying to get rich next Tuesday, I would buy coins in the crypto market with dogs on it. I talk about them sometimes on crypto portfolio updates. It's a tool. I'm going to say this about everything that I use, so that way when we get into these heated debates and arguments about it, I can just keep reiterating it. Like, that's not going to work forever. Like, I don't care. It's working now. Like, I don't care. As long as it works for the next 12 months, okay. I don't care. I need the income now. My issue is not whether these portfolios, well, the income portfolio specifically, grows over the next 15 years or doesn't erode or isn't volatile. I care that it pays every month, every week, that I get a check, that these guys are out here in the market making some successful calls on their option plays. Once the income comes in, that's my responsibility. I handle it from there forward because I am good at this. I'll direct the income where it needs to go. And once the debt's cleared and once we start making some of these moves, and as we see these portfolios growing and the assets within said portfolios growing, we can discuss semantics then, as long as I get to where I'm going. I don't care whether the rest of the internet that wants to do whatever beholden strategy that they're tied to, that they don't give any type of context or any clarity on, think about the tools that I'm using that are working. Nor should any of you. We over here in the Wolfpack, we are free thinkers. Might be one of the last bastions of them that aren't told what we're supposed to do. We looked at the generations before us. We're seeing stuff not working. We're trying to figure it out. And some of us, like myself, are documenting it and showing you what we're doing and being like, hey, like, this is what I'm making right now. Like, this is where I'm at. I'm not making six figures. I'm not sitting here saying I'm richer than anybody, but I did manage to secure a house. I did manage to pay off a car, and I am capable of accruing debt, going through 4 terrible months, surviving it, coming out on the other side with an even better financial plan than when I went in. Some of us are just winners, bro. Like, we don't cry, we compete. But we tell the truth, we give the context. So if this does start not working and we got to make some pivots, that will be documented as well. Like, this isn't rocket science, and it's okay to be wrong, because a lot of times we're going to be wrong. I've tweaked my income portfolio. I think we're on the 5th revision. Now, this revision we're building out from, and it's a minor tweak. But from the time that I got into this space to now, with the income portfolio, which is the high yield dividends, as I've learned the space and started to understand stuff and how things are working here and understanding the game, I'm like, oh, that's a little bit wrong. That's not as efficient as I could be. Oh, this would be better put for this window of time. It's about winning. It's not about sitting here and posturing at being right. So when it comes to financial conversations, I only talk about efficacy and efficiency. Those are the only 2 things that I care about. The rest of it, like, you can think I'm dumb. People can think whatever they want, but we're going to keep on trucking. We're going to keep on winning, and I'm going to keep posting the results, and y'all are just going to have to deal with it. And then hopefully this helps some other people kind of have some ideas about what they need to do, because what I'm doing specifically, all my plays and the way that I'm stacking stuff together, That's the way my mind works. I seek efficiency and I seek the best return possible. From the efficiency standpoint, I'm trying to like not have to wait till I'm 65 to be able to take days off at my behest and not have to show up if I don't want to. I'm buying my time back. Now, most of you aren't going to be able to purchase an ounce of time until your body's already destroyed. I'm not doing that. And I don't want anyone in the wolf pack to have to do that. So that's where we're going to leave this one off. I hope you guys like the pilot episode. Let me know down in the comments what you're thinking. You guys want to talk your trash down there about Reckless Rated Narrow's debt? Let's talk about it. But yeah, we're gonna be tracking it. Full transparency. Somebody's got to tell the truth. Till next week, people. It's your boy Reckless Rated Narrow, and we are out. Peace.
Money on my mind. Yeah. Focus, got no time for games. Nah, I don't play it. I'm all about that financial literacy. Investing in my future, building generational wealth. Dollar bills, they be calling my name, but I ain't chasing fame, I'm chasing change. Learn the game, now I'm playing it smart. Putting my money to work, it's an art. I'm stacking paper, building my own empire. No more living check to check, I'm getting higher. Investing in stocks, real estate, and more. Gotta secure the bag, that's what I came for.